Weather Warriors, welcome aboard to this edition of State of the Weather Address. We've got an emerging pattern flip that's starting to take shape across the United States over the next couple of weeks. That's what I'm going to talk about in this episode. I'm going to talk about what the changes, what kind of changes are going to occur, the storm pattern, temperatures, and when we could see another change later in the month. So this is going to run through the 20th, okay? So it's going to be for the next week or so. So that's what we're going to talk about in this episode. First, we got a poll here. I asked a few videos ago, would you prefer morning or night live streams if I decided to do live streams? And here are the results. 109 entries, okay? 90 of those entries said nights and 19 said the mornings. So it's about 83% said nights and 17% said mornings. So a lot of people want to do nights. You know, what I'm thinking about doing is maybe a little bit of both, but probably mostly nights. So now comment below, do you like big warm-ups in the winter or do you just like snow? Just go ahead and comment below. And if you haven't checked out the Facebook Weather Warriors Facebook group, check that out. We got weekly contests and all that type of stuff. So let's get right into the analysis. Right now we're looking at the El Enzo. So this is measuring El Nino, La Nina, etc. out in the Pacific. And this is the cutoff line for the El Nino, the 0.5 line. And we're well above that and have been for several weeks here. So we're in kind of a weak El Nino at the moment, and you can see the waters warming right here. Not quite a Molokai El Nino at the moment, but just a little bit of a weak El Nino right now. So that's going to impact the pattern. So let's look in the medium range here. This is what I'm thinking across the United States for the next week or so through the 20th. I'm thinking for temperatures, we're going to see above average temperatures, really, anywhere in that yellow, orange, and red. So the yellows are going to be about plus 2 degrees above average on average for this entire period. Obviously, there's going to be some days where it's above average. Some days it's going to be below average. But overall, for that 9-day period, this is supposed to be the 12th. For that 8-day period or so, it's going to average around 2 degrees above average. Then plus 4 out here, and then plus 6, or maybe even more, up in the northern U.S. I think it's going to be much above average, right in the center, up in the northern U.S. And then probably average to maybe slightly below average as you get towards Florida and the Gulf Coast. 1 to 2 degrees below average, so slightly below average out there. As you'll see soon, we're going to see some storm tracks that move through this region. Could bring some cooler weather and some precipitation for that region. Now, how about the precipitation outlook? Well, this one's a little bit trickier because there's a lot of small systems that kind of track through this region, and the timing and placement is going to be pretty tough to nail down, but pretty confident and very dry. Well, not very dry, but slightly drier than average precipitation, and then much drier than average out here in the Rockies towards the desert southwest, and then much above average precipitation, as you get towards the northwestern United States, towards the coastline, as you're going to get several waves that move in, bring lots of rain and some snow as well in the mountains. And then some slightly below average precip in the northeast, and then slightly above in the southeast. Now this area right here, again, there are several storms that are going to move through. Again, they're going to kind of change tracks a little bit, but you're going to get a good storm that moves through that area sometime in this period, I think, and slightly above average precip there for that. All right, so it's time for the next segment here, the tool shed, the weather decoded tool shed. And these are little tools that we use to forecast the weather and that you can use as well. And today we are going over the Climate Prediction Center. Okay, and this is a website where you can go and actually find long-range forecasts for as much as like 3 months out. It's called cpc.ncep.noaa.gov, or just type in Climate Prediction Center, and you can view your 6-day, 10-day precipitation outlook. As you can see, it's kind of similar. It's a little bit different than what I was forecasting. I think it's going to be a little bit cooler for the southeast, and the precipitation is going to be a little bit more above average down there. And then you can go 8 to 14 day. This is what they're thinking for 2 weeks out. Much above average again for precip and warmth. 1 month, much above average warmth and precip for most of the U.S. except parts of the Utah and Nevada there. And then you can go as much as 3 months out, and that kind of looks like their winter forecast. Again, mine's a lot different than theirs, but that's what they're thinking. So you can actually check these out. They update these throughout the week. So our next thing, we're going to look at the precipitation, the storms that are going to move through, and then the temperatures by the weather models. This is pivotalweather.com, and this is kind of the current stuff that's going on across the U.S. As of this video. And geez, I mean, it looks like all of the Rockies are going to blow away or something. We got several wind advisories here, high wind warnings, Texas, Panhandle, Oklahoma. So, and you're going to see here soon a storm tracks through and brings lots of wind behind it. And so, plenty of that going on. And then again, the CPC, this is their forecast, temperatures for the next week, precipitation outlook, which 6 to 10 day precip. I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, it's a lot different than mine. Anyway, the 18 to 14 day temperatures and then 18 to 14 day precip. So lots of differences, but the temperatures for sure look similar for the most part. So yeah, if you're going to look at this storm system, we're going to look at the temperatures with the models and what they're showing. But first, we're going to look at that wind. As you can see, that low pressure system develops here, and it's going to be mostly a rain event. Probably not a lot of snow, but it's going to really start to strengthen here. And this is driven by this really strong high pressure sitting out in the mountain west. And when you get these gradients, these pressure gradients to set up, you get a lot of wind, that high pressure, trying to go to the low pressure to balance the atmosphere out. And as a result, you get lots of wind. And so you're going to get lots of wind on this back side. So watch this track through on the 13th and 14th. You got winds 30 to 40 miles an hour in some areas. And then that tracks through the southern U.S. and then kind of fizzles out, and that high just kind of sinks in, and things kind of fizzle out, and it becomes a lot more calm across the United States. All right, so what we're going to look at right now is the height anomalies, and then we'll look at precipitation after that, what type of storm systems are going to be moving through the U.S. The height anomalies are just measuring our jets, kind of the heights, the anomalies of the heights. So lower heights are going to be colder, and higher heights are going to typically be warmer, associated with warmer, ridgier conditions, just like up here. And then this is lower heights in the blue down here. Okay, these are higher heights. These are lower heights. And so you got a little system out here, one out here, and we're going to fast forward this through. And here's that system that goes through Texas. You can see this little short wave moving through. And again, this is why I kept this area down here with slightly above average precip, some out here, and then slightly below average temperatures. You're going to see a couple of waves that move through. But look at this. We got ridging out east. We got ridging out west. This stuff is going to dominate for the most part, with occasionally some little tiny systems moving through, but the ridging is going to be dominating here. And as you can see, much warmer than average temperatures as we head towards the 15th, 16th. Look at that. Just blows up, explodes out west. You got a really nice ridging out there now, and it's going to bring some nice warm temperatures across most of the United States as we get towards, we'll go towards the 16th and 17th, and look at that, much above average in the northern U.S. Just, it's shooting right up there. 18th, 19th, we got a little system in the southwestern United States, not very strong. And then as we get towards the 20th and 21st, really strong ridging out west. But notice we start to get some troughing out east, or some lower height anomalies. Nothing crazy yet, but it's more kind of zonal. But we'll fast forward it here into the 21st. And it looks like the pattern starts to kind of shake up here around the 21st, 22nd. So this is why I only went out to the 20th with my temperature outlook and precipitation outlook. I think we're going to see a pattern change just before or around Christmas. So we're experiencing one right now with this warm temperatures, and then I think we're going to see another one as we get towards Christmas. So that will be fun to watch. So temperature anomalies, we'll fast forward it through the 14th. You can see those cold shots of air with that low pressure system in the southeast United States. Very warm temperatures across much of the northern and central U.S. and this is going to continue through about the 20th, and then here we are. We're on the 22nd, 23rd, and that starts to change, starts to break down. So probably a pattern change around then. The models have been really consistent with this happening and with this warmth before then. So, all right, so let's hunt for some storms here. This is a precipitation outlook. This is our storm right now as of Thursday, Friday here out in Texas. We got tons of moisture getting pulled out from the Gulf of Mexico, and this is going to track northeastward. Plenty of moisture to work with. Going to be lots of rain in this area, and so that's why I actually gave this area slightly above average precipitation, and then also this area right here, because this storm system could dump some good rain. So we got a storm system here. Our cold front is located right, maybe more down here like this, but behind it, tons of wind. Like I said, 60, 70 mile an hour gusts potentially in some areas. A little bit of pocket of snow, but that's not going to be a huge snow event, mostly just rain. There's really not a whole lot of cold air. It gets kind of pinched off. We're just not having a lot of cold air with this thing. And we'll continue this through Friday and into Saturday, and this sweeps through the northeastern, southeastern, mid-Atlantic region of the United States. And then we go towards next Monday, and it really starts to warm up. Here comes the ridging. Maybe some snow in the northeast. That'll be interesting to watch. You got that storm system moving out. Whoops. This system moving out kind of stalls out a little bit. Then we have some more cold air coming up from Canada. So it could get some snow next Monday, Tuesday in the northeast. And then as we get into next Thursday, a week from now, this is something we're going to want to watch. A little bit of a cold shot here with a clipper. And this could give the northeast some snow. So we'll have to watch that. Nothing major, though, but definitely some snow there next Thursday and Friday. But look what's happening here on the West Coast. This whole time, there's a wave there on Saturday. There's a wave there this next Sunday, Monday. Yeah, it just keeps slamming next Friday. So there's going to be plenty of snow out here, major snow in the mountains, as we have just a constant stream of moisture there that's going to hit the northwestern United States. All right, and then so we're going to next Saturday, another little clipper that moves through, and this is something we're going to have to watch. Right around Christmas, I think there's going to be a pattern change. So all this warmth will change. And notice this over here. The GFS has actually been showing some troughing out here. We've got a clipper and got a storm system developing here. We could be dealing with, a powerful snowstorm around Christmas or just a little bit after. We'll have to watch that. But, it's way too far out to get into specifics. But the GFS is indicating a powerful snowstorm for the far northeastern United States around Christmas. And the western U.S., a few waves there. And this is getting really far out. This is towards the 29th. And the pattern really looks to change around around Christmas. So how about temperatures here? We'll just look at this real quick. 50s, 60s in the southern U.S., 70s in the northern U.S. Highs are going to be in the 40s and 50s potentially. But that cold shot next Wednesday, 30s, 20s for the northeastern United States. And, even some single digits out there next Saturday, a week from now. And pretty cold. And then as we get towards the 24th, look what happens. We have a big pattern change. Lots of cooler air coming into the United States. All right, one more thing. We're going to quickly zip through the precipitation and snowfall amounts through this period. Whoops. And QPF, this is called qualitative precipitation. This only includes liquid precipitation, so it does not include snow. And if it, it does include snow, but it translate the snow from snow to liquid. So sometimes 1 inch of snow will equal 0.1 inches of liquid. So that's something you can take and learn from, so that you're going to see a lot of that snow show up as liquid out here. Okay, so we're going to fast forward this. As we get towards the 14th, you can see the storm system in the southern U.S., actually even out into the central U.S. as well, deliver plenty of rain here. Okay, amounts probably in some areas up to an inch or more, a couple inches in the southeastern United States as we head towards Sunday. Monday. And you look at the western U.S., just gets slammed time and time again here. This is next Friday, next Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then you can see that pattern change happen right around Christmas, where this area starts to get a little more active. But this area, just tons of rain, tons of much needed moisture for California, at least the northern parts. And yeah, let's go check that out real quick, because that is a lot of precipitation. We'll check the northwestern United States out here. And this GFS model is forecasting as much as 15 inches. I think that might be a little bit overdone, but plenty of rain, 2 to 4 inches, very common in this area. And then some areas out here, and it's been very consistent with the western parts of Washington getting slammed with 4 to 10 inches of rain over the next couple of weeks. So yeah, that's pretty crazy. And then we'll look at the winter snowfall real quick. And we'll just fast forward that, and you can see a lot of this snow right here going to be in those higher elevations, but plenty of snow. I mean, this has 60 inches right here, 60 inches in some of those areas, but at least feet of snow, and then some snow out in these areas as well. But yeah, that's looking pretty promising there. And then we'll look at the national view real quick. And again, that snowstorm in the south, or that winter storm, really just doesn't have much snow. There might be some wet snow in the backside. But look at the northeastern United States. A few clippers move through, a few cold shots in the far northeastern United States could deliver a few inches of snow out there per system. And the GFS has, 4 to 8 inches in some areas out there. So, this area will be kind of active with clippers over the next couple of weeks. But overall, the rest of the United States, other than the far northeast and the western U.S., going to be very, very quiet, other than that rain system that's moving through just about now. But next week's going to be a very quiet week. But after that, we might be dealing with a pattern change. So that about wraps up the data segment of this video. All right, so that about wraps up this video. If you like videos like these, go ahead and click like and comment below, and then subscribe. We got weekly videos like this, like the state of the weather, long range forecast. We occasionally have flash forecast updates that forecast specific storm events, and then we also have weather tutorials, forecasting tutorials, and other fun weather videos, occasionally as well. So if you like videos like that, go ahead and click subscribe. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you soon.